Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the 2018 science fiction horror film Await Further Instructions. A film that is directed by Johnny Kevorkian, and it's a British science fiction horror film, and there's a couple of names in here you might recognise. We have Sam Gittings, who was in the Howl the Werewolf 2015 film, and we have the great David Bradley, who has been in many a thing, including Harry Potter and things like that. Now, this is actually quite a fascinating science fiction horror that borrows heavily and feels influenced by a lot of science fiction stroke horror out there. It almost feels like an extended episode of The Twilight Zone, or a really good Doctor Who episode, blended with a nice mix of David Cronenberg's Videodrome or something like that. It is quite heavily influenced by a lot of science fiction films, but it actually stands on its own 2 feet, this film. It's actually pretty good. And this film focuses on a family who Nick, played by Sam Gittins, and his girlfriend Angie, who is of Asian origin, go home. It's Christmas Day and they're going home. He's bringing his girlfriend to meet his family on Christmas Day. However, this is a strained family. There is the mother that's really pleased to see him. You've got the very militant father. You've got the over-the-top sister who's pregnant, heavily pregnant, baby's due in 2 weeks, and her husband. And the grandfather, who's played by David Bradley superbly, the grumpy, sweary granddad. Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, he turns up, everybody's arguing, everybody's falling out, the usual kind of thing, and they decide they're going to get up early on Christmas morning and leave, Nick and his girlfriend, and that's what they do. The Christmas morning they get up really early to go downstairs, and they find that the house is surrounded by this strange metal cage almost that they can't see out of, and every single side of the house is covered in this strange metal encasing, and they can't get out. They don't understand what's going on. Everybody gets up, there's a little bit of a panic, and then the militant father says it's alright, and then there's a message comes up on the TV saying await further instructions, basically, and the father says that's a message from the government. There's obviously been some kind of terrorist attack. We'll just get on as normal. They try and get on weirdly with the Christmas Day as normal. Then these other messages keep popping up saying do not eat your food, it's all contaminated, you're all contaminated, scrub yourself down with bleach, do this, do that. They keep getting all these instructions, and each time a new instruction comes, it escalates the tensions in the house that are already heavily strained in regards to the relationships they have anyway. So each request escalates the situation, but one thing that remains throughout is the father, Tony, who is so militant. He just follows the instructions blindly that they're given, and he completely believes everything that they're told through these TV messages, and it just continues to get worse and worse and worse. It starts getting more and more horrific. They start falling out, and as you can imagine, it just gets really, really tense, and the relationships get really, really strained. And that's all I'm going to say on the story. You'll have to watch it for yourself. Now, I said this film is like a weird Twilight Zone episode. However, I think where this film succeeds in a lot of ways, I don't think it succeeds fully, but where it succeeds in a lot of ways is the characters. And this might be a British thing. It's almost like if you watch a British sitcom, if you're British or English, like Only Fools and Horses, or Steptoe and Son, all that kind of Royal Family. We like them, and we can relate to them. Now, what makes a good British sitcom or a good British movie is they find characters that we can relate to, and then they usually dial them up to 11. So that's what they've done here. They found characters that we can all relate to. You know, the Christmas strained relationships that a lot of people go through at Christmas. You know, visiting family don't really want to, all that kind of stuff. And they've done that, and then they dial it up to 11. You know, they get David Bradley say really controversial things about, you know, racism and all that kind of stuff. And then you chuck in this sci-fi element and stir it into the pot. And it makes for a really, really tense, interesting science fiction film, this. That I have to say, I had a great time watching. I thought it was well written and well directed, well acted and well made throughout. Unfortunately, the ending is a little bit of a damp squid. It goes a little bit too Cronenberg and a little bit 80s horror at the end. And I don't think it necessarily worked. It's almost as if they ran out of ideas by the end or something. But up to that point I thought it was absolutely excellent, and I thought they missed their way with the ending. I can't really talk about the ending obviously because it'll give away spoilers. There are a number of plot holes in this movie that again I can't really talk about because it goes into spoiler territory. But when you actually sit, it's one of those movies when you sit and analyse it afterwards, you're kind of thinking, yeah, that wouldn't work. And so there's 2 or 3 of those you just think, yeah, those that wouldn't have worked in regards to reality. But for me, I think this, if you're a science fiction fan, if you're a horror fan, there's some stuff here to enjoy. It's a bit of a slow start, but it's well made and well acted, so it does get you invested in the characters in the film, and it is an intriguing plot, I have to say. Like it does borrow heavily from other things, but it's original enough to stand on its own 2 feet. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, guys. I did enjoy it. I watched it all the way through, didn't get bored. And I would recommend it if you're a fan of sci-fi horror. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hi, this is just a quick message from me to thank you very much for watching this video and for checking out the channel. Please do me a huge favour and click that like button. Please leave as many comments as you like on the videos, and of course don't forget to click that subscribe button. And if you do click that subscribe button, click the notification bell as well, so that you never miss out on any content that I put up on YouTube. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.